Yo, what is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another daily video. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to drop by the channel. I've had to go outside and shovel a few times. We're getting hit with snow pretty bad here in Chi-Town. But we got a Rant. We're going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch and its hot start. Might have to eat a crow on the Nintendo Switch. You know, I've been wrong plenty of times in the past, right? But I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong about certain things, and well, you know what, let's just get right into this article. GameIndustry.biz, the image is up on the screen. I'll have the link in the description if you guys want to check it out. They came out and said, according to Superdata, Nintendo Switch has sold 1.5 million worldwide, and that using data supplied to it by both Famitsu and GFK, Superdata says that 500,000 consoles were sold in the US, 360,000 were sold in Japan, and Europe isn't that far behind, 85,000 in the UK, France at 110,000. So they're kind of estimating for the US a little bit there because they don't have data yet. MPD hasn't put out their numbers, but it's probably a safe assumption to say for March, Nintendo Switch will be number 1, PlayStation 4 will be number 2, and Xbox One will be maybe number 3 console-wise, but probably number 4 behind the 3DS. Ooh, 4th place for Microsoft. Not a good look, right? Yeah, most of those figures are just for the first week, so obviously the number will be higher now. Nintendo is looking to sell 2 million consoles by the end of March, which they'll probably hit. But what are people buying with it? This is kind of interesting. So they say Superdata says, which is like a tracking firm. They make predictions and stuff. So this is what they're saying. We'll have to wait and see what Nintendo says to their investors and whatnot, and what MPD says. But for now, it's kind of a good indicator that 89% of Switch owners have bought the new Zelda, which would amount to around 1.3 million in sales. Does not include the Wii U version. That's a lot. 9 out of 10 people buying Zelda. Now we know why it was one of the launch games with it, because I don't think Mario would have that kind of attach rate, because I think Zelda appeals more to the hardcore Nintendo fans than Mario does. Mario's more of a broader type of game, has a broader demographic, but the fanboys got to have their Zelda, and maybe I'll make a video tomorrow about how they DDoS Jim Sterling because he dared give that game a 7 out of 10. How dare you, Jim Sterling? How dare you? Anyways. Yeah, look, I've always said this. I think Nintendo's irrelevant. I think they've been irrelevant for a while. I don't have any of the nostalgia that a lot of people feel with Nintendo Switch or Nintendo in general. So I was just like, I think this system's not going to sell very well. I've been saying that from the beginning. And it looks like, at least for right now, it's selling extremely well. I always kind of thought it would. The question is, will it have long-term success? That's the issue. Will the Nintendo Switch have long-term success? And I think the answer to that question, it's up in the air right now. I mean, I'll eat the crow by saying, because I think it's even done better than what I thought it would do at launch. I'll eat that crow. I'm eating it right now. It tastes pretty good. But will it be successful down the road is the question. Maybe it will. Maybe, I mean, I think it'll do better than, obviously, the Wii U, which is one of the worst selling systems of all time. It has to be better than that. But where are we getting at? Is the Switch gonna get back up to GameCube numbers, like 25 million? Are we going to beyond that? Are we going to 30 million, 35 million? I just wonder how people are gonna feel about it. And people have asked me, is like, hey, don't you want to play Zelda, Rand? Don't you want to play Zelda? And I say no. Honestly, no. Zelda doesn't appeal to me at all. And I liken it to this, right? I've only played one Zelda. Actually, 2 Zeldas. I played the very first Zelda, and I played Wind Waker, right? So when I see a Zelda game, it literally does nothing for me. I just look at it and be like, okay. And I get no feelings either way for it. I assume it would be like someone who's maybe played the first Halo and never played any of the other Halos. So when they see a trailer for a Halo game, or someone tells them a new Halo game is out, they just look at it and be like, whatever. It's the same kind of thing. I just don't care about Zelda. So anything I see about that, It does nothing for me. Mario does nothing for me. A lot of their games don't do anything for me at all. I just look at them with a blank expression on my face. I just don't care. And I know, that's kind of weird to a lot of you people because you guys are all about the Switch. You're all about that 97 on Metacritic Zelda now. The best games of all time. Even though I've heard from plenty of people that it's not that good. Media bias for Nintendo? Could it be true? Could it be true? Does media bias exist? But yeah, I just don't have the feelings you guys do for Nintendo. I mean, I have those feelings for Sony because I used to be a Sony fanboy. PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 were my systems. So I do have those feelings for Sony, which is why it's always in the back of my mind. I want to get a PlayStation 4 and play in those games. Even though I've never played Horizon Zero Dawn before, obviously because it's the first one. But that game looks impressive and looks like a lot of fun, and where Zelda does not at all. But I'd also say, so what it says here that Zelda's at 1.34 million in sales. Was that higher than Horizon? You think Horizon will reach that in a month? I don't know. I did see some people on Twitter make a bet about that. But anyways, to reiterate, looks like Nintendo Switch is doing really, really well, at least in the beginning. 1.5 million on its way to 2 for the end of March. Going to be number 1 in MPDs. Xbox One is going to be number 4. My Xbox One could be number 4 for a while, guys. I don't see it beating PlayStation 4 anytime soon. Obviously, maybe the supply issues Nintendo might bring it down a little bit because, with Nintendo and how they don't adequately stock their products for whatever reason, they try to create that false demand, or not false demand, they create this sense where they short the supply, and a lot of people like it, so it creates this heightened sense of demand for a product that really shouldn't have. Like they should have enough of these things. But hey, Nintendo's been doing that for a long time. But congratulations, Nintendo. At least you're on the right path. We'll see what this means for the future. I want to know what the Nintendo Switch is doing a year from now. Because the Wii U did pretty good at launch too. Nintendo fanboys will buy their Nintendo system at the beginning, like they all do. All the fanboys do. Xbox fanboys, PlayStation fanboys. They all buy the systems right away. But the question is, will Nintendo still be at this hot start a year from now? It's tough to say. I have no interest in getting one, period, end of story. So don't even ask. There be no scenario where I get a Nintendo Switch. It appeals to me zero. Even if the system was $50. Even if the Nintendo Switch was $50, I still wouldn't get one. Number one, I don't care about handhelds, which it pretty much seems like it is. And number two, I don't give a fuck about any of Nintendo's franchises, period. So no, I will never get a Nintendo Switch. I just don't care about Nintendo, guys. I'm sorry. I care about a lot of other different kind of games, and, it's either Microsoft and Sony for me, and that's it. Nintendo does nothing for me. But anyways, congratulations, Nintendo. At least seems like you've turned it around a little bit. Let's see where you are a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, if this is really the resurgence of Nintendo or just the fanboys buying the system at launch. Although the 9 out of 10 attach rate for Zelda is pretty goddamn amazing. That has to be a record, right? So I think even when Halo 3 came out at the height of Halo's popularity, if you guys remember on the 360, the height. You remember when Halo was super fucking popular? Because I remember. Remember when Halo outsold multi-platforms? When exclusives actually sold more than multi-platforms? I remember. But yeah, when Halo 3 in 2007, at the height of its popularity, when the 360 was, I forget what it was already at, like 20 some odd million, 30 million, that sucker hit an attach rate of like 60%. Everybody bought Halo 3. But that's 10 years ago, and Halo's not the franchise it used to be. It doesn't hit those numbers anymore. But what are you going to do, right? Exclusives don't sell nearly as well. But it looks like everybody who bought a Switch decided, hey, maybe because there's only like 5 games, at least physically and more digitally, but Zelda is the game everybody's going to get. I mean, it is a 98. Sorry. I mean a 97 on Metacritic. So yeah, there. So just want to do a little video about Nintendo. Give them a little props. Eat a little crow. I'll take that L. Because I'll admit when I'm wrong. But anyways, thanks for watching the video, guys. Let me know what you think about Nintendo hitting that 1.5 million and Zelda doing extremely well. Leave me a good comment. I read them all, except for the ones that are shit. If you liked the video, hit that like button. Consider subscribing for more content because I put out a lot of it. And I'll see everybody later.